Okay, I'd like to call to order, please, the February 24th, 2025 meeting of the Firehouse Building Committee. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, we have no Zoom tonight, but we are live on WCAT, and I imagine it is recorded and will be played during the week. First order of business, a call to order. Scott Wiley, Karen Chavez, myself here. Shannon Poulos, Joe Hanlon.
Here.
Paul Flanagan.
Here.
Steve Calandra.
Yeah.
Jill Dore.
Here.
Kim Dimes.
Here.
I'm going to call Mark Wallace because I haven't been notified as yet. Can we please have the Pledge of Allegiance? Joe, you got Shannon? Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next thing is minutes. I have minutes for February 10th. I need a motion, please.
Motion?
Motion by Kim. I need a second?
Second.
Second by Paul. The only correction I have, Jill, is my name is Karen, Karin.
Got it.
Does anybody else have any corrections, omissions, additions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Joe Hanlon abstains. I'd like to take the agenda out of order now, please. We'll come back to public comment. The town clerk is here to swear in our two new members, Hannah Belcher and Jack Dempsey.
Very good. You guys want to stand, please?
Right hands up. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially perform all the duties imposed upon me by my appointment as an officer of the town of Winthrop to the Firehouse Building Committee according to the laws of the Commonwealth, so help me God.
I do.
You're in.
Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you'll enjoy us. You know, this is not a 6
Thank
months
you. Nice to see you.
stance, it's probably gonna be a 3-year. So we'll be seeing a lot of each other over the next 3 years. Is there any public comment?
Under public comment, does the public know who the two members are? I know they know one of them.
Jack Dempsey? Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Jack Dempsey. I live in Winthrop, down the point, and I'm retired Boston Fire Commissioner, about 2.5 years now, and so I have a little bit of experience with building firehouses. They're far and few apart, but I have been involved in a couple of them, so hopefully I can bring some of that knowledge to this group.
Hannah Belcher?
I'm Hannah Belcher. I'm the Vice President of the Council and the Counselor for Precinct 3.
Please remember, everybody, tonight, we are live on WCAT, so you need to use the mics. Okay, public comment again. Any other public comment? Nothing. New business, we swore in our first two members. General discussion, do we have any general discussion? Did everybody see the new print that we got this afternoon from, actually, it came from the chief via Tony Marino. To be honest with you, they said changes. I don't know what the changes are by looking.
The changes didn't look like they were called out.
Yeah, they put the fitness room on the bunk room.
Okay, well, hold on then, just tell us that. They put the fitness room,
Same level as the bunk room,
where was it before?
in the garage.
Okay, so they moved it up to the second floor.
The second floor.
So the fitness room went to the second floor.
Yep.
Was there any other changes, did you notice? The outside still looks the same to me. Oh, the other thing too, but I think that this was mentioned before, the generator and the transformer that are actually on the Waldemar Avenue side of the building. I think they were talking about moving those
Yeah, they
because of
said
the
it
noise.
wasn't a big
Yeah, the
problem.
noise level for the neighboring people right there. Did everybody see that?
I have one minor nit on the front.
Okay, go ahead.
Larson Rink is EN, not ON.
It is.
It is.
See?
Well, we should tell the architects that Larson Rink, and Joe should know. It's Larsen,
Good catch.
Good catch.
since it was his grandfather.
Is that in the minutes, Larson?
Pardon me?
I don't think no, it's on the drawing.
It's on the drawing,
Okay.
but it says Larson, and it should be Larsen.
Yes.
Norwegian, not Swedish.
Nice. Thank you, Karen.
No problem.
Hi, Jim.
I did bring for everybody a copy of the actual cost on the tax roll for what the debt exclusion will cost. I think it's enough that way, Jim. I think it is. If there isn't, I have
I have another one.
two of the oversized ones that I practiced with. If you look at it, the top is the override, the bottom with it, where it's highlighted in pink, that's the debt exclusion. The first one is for a 25-year, and the second one is for the 30-year. If you notice, there is not a heck of a lot of difference to the taxpayer, whether we go for 25 years or 30 years. It benefits the town because it's a savings in interest. Correct?
Yep, it saves the town about 8.6 million, it saves the taxpayers about 2,600 over the course of payments. 25 years at $30 more versus 30 years at $30 less, it saves about $2,600.
And what do you base that percentage rate on? What are you using?
We went to Hilltop Securities where we go through all our overrides, whatever kind of debt we're going out for, and that's what they gave us for a projected rate.
Today.
No, based on this happening, when it happens.
Oh, okay.
Any other things on finance? Oh, I looked at the website today, and there was a couple of things that need to be changed on the website.
Yeah, there's still a couple updates that need to be changed in terms of this tab to go in and put the value of your house. I guess the good news is, and what was it, 2 years ago, the average house assessed value was $657, and then we went to $687, and now it's at $697. So we have to make that adjustment on there. And there's a couple other things that we just have to get Josh's approval to let us make the changes, which he's fine with. He just has to physically tell us. But there are a couple minor changes that still have to be made.
Now, there was also still some questions listed on there. Do we need to just delete that?
There are a couple questions that aren't really relevant, right?
They were questions that were sent into us that we answered.
Right, that need to be deleted,
And,
taken off.
yeah, I think that
Yeah,
they need, are you doing that, or is,
I'm gonna talk to the chief about that tomorrow.
okay, all right. Anything else, did anybody else get a chance to look at the website? We already had public comment. Sir,
What time did you start?
5:30.
We were here.
I announced public comment, miss.
Oh, I thought you said mistakes.
No,
Oh.
I did announce did you have a public comment, Mr. Wall?
I have a payment ring your doorbell
I
tomorrow
have a
morning.
question after hearing something about the finances. Where are the homeowners going to be billed for this, as part of their real estate taxes?
Yes, it's a debt,
separate
it's
bill?
no, it's a debt exclusion. It's the same as when you voted for the schools and for Miller Field. The debt exclusion is for the life of the bond. For instance, the Gorman Fort Banks, that bond has been paid, so that has come off the tax roll. The Arthur T. Cummings, that bond was finished paying in '25, that has come off the tax roll. The Miller Field bond is up in 2031. that will come off the tax roll in 2031. And this will come off in 25 years, whenever we actually start putting it out to bond. It does not go out to bond July 1 of 2025. As we need the money. It's not like the override. The override you're gonna get hit with July 1. The debt exclusion will be as we need the money. If we need $1 million, that's what you'll see on your tax rate. And that's how it will increase over the life of what the need of the bond is.
Okay, thank you for that explanation.
Thank you.
So we're trying to be conservative and say that we think the first full payment of this, the $480 on the average house, would hit your taxes in the first quarter of fiscal '28, which is July 1st, 2027. Reality is, it will probably be more like January 1st, 2028. Probably be the second or third quarter of 3 years from now, basically, is when it would affect your tax bill. There will be some smaller notes that come out early to do some demolition or, hire an OPM and stuff like that. But the majority of the money won't be bonded until you need it.
I'm also glad you selected the school site.
Oh, thank you. Did you see that, the new finance?
I don't think, do I have that?
No, probably not. That's just, it's
This
just a new updated.
Oh, yeah, new updated on the actual cost. And this does include the contingency also. It's $38,480,000.
Yeah, and that
Where was
and
the
that
change? And that is
includes-
for, this has an escalation of it too, for 2026,
Of 16%.
16%. So whatever the numbers were we had before, this has an escalation of 16%.
This doesn't have the infrastructure that was included in the first one. We thought we were gonna need major infrastructure
Yeah.
work to do it at the middle school. We found out that the infrastructure that we would potentially be working on is underneath the gymnasium, not the auditorium, so we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually, there's gonna have to be some sort of rerouting of that water main there. But this does include a 16% escalation, so when people are saying, well, if you're buying whatever, metal now, steel, and it's gonna be more money in 2 years when you start building it, well, this is including for that. It's also, so it's including almost $4 million escalation just for the cost of the building to construct it. It's also including a $2.5 million contingency for any potential overruns. So if somebody said, well, you said 37, 38, but it really ended up being 40, well, this is like saying, we're really saying it's 36, but we're putting money aside in case it could go up. The last 3 overrides we've done are debt exclusions, ATC, Fort Banks, and the Miller Field have all come in under, which is,
The high school
happen all
came in
the
under
time.
too.
The high school came in under.
Karen, can
So-
you repeat that number that you initially said, 38 what?
38,480,000.
We should
It
get this
just came
out.
up, I'll have to get it
Okay.
literally half hour working.
And as we talked about, some of the website has to be updated. I don't know if anybody had a chance to look at it. And a lot of it is still from 2 years ago. So a lot of it still needs to be updated, which is being done.
Karen, what is the website address for those on Zoom?
The fire station.
I think it's just
winterfirestation.com.
winterfirestation.com, I believe.
Yes.
There was another website listed, but
Oh,
that's,
yeah, WCT, yeah.
I don't think that's,
If you go to the Town of Winter website, it gives you a link to the firehouse.
well, I tried that and I couldn't do it.
I couldn't find it either.
I couldn't do, I did try that,
So
Steve.
when I went on the hyperlink,
So then that's when you go to
it
winterfirestation.com.
brings you, it looped it back.
I did the same.
Yes.
Do winterfirestation.com.
So I just,
Yeah.
that I just put in, but when you go to, I think, the hyperlink on the town
Yeah, it's not
website, it's not
connecting.
working. It loops you right back to the.
Okay,
She was aware of
so
that.
if you probably should
Yeah.
Okay,
just go on to winterfirestation.com
Yep.
to get it. As I said before, the website is not perfect yet, but it will be. Any other information out for the public today.
Did you talk about the sign at the middle school?
I didn't get that far yet.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody has been by the middle school lately. Did they see the sign that's been posted there?
Absolutely.
Sign, there's a new sign at the middle school. Potential, doesn't say potential, what exactly does it say? Site
It
of,
says home of the new.
does it say home?
Proposed.
Right.
Fire station, home of the proposed.
Of the proposed new fire station. It's really a very, very nice sign.
It is.
Matt Honan did it. The chief told me that Matt wants to put it on poles, but the ground is too hard, so right now it's attached to some of the school itself.
That'd
So
be
please go
awesome.
by and see that. Did we make a decision on whether we were gonna do signage or not?
I think we did, there was no, what, lawn sign?
No on signs?
I don't think we're gonna.
Okay, and we decided, I had the other question too. Did we decide on postcards? Did we decide not to do postcards, or are we going to do postcards?
I think the postcards haven't been decided yet, totally up to,
Funding.
funding.
Do you want me to get a price from the guy I
Yeah.
do my fireworks ones with?
Why don't you? It's a good idea. And then we can maybe make a decision on that.
Karen, I don't know if this is the right time, but, is there any update on the appraisals of Pauline Street?
Jim talked about that at the last meeting, about appraisals. I'm not sure that any appraisals were done, but you had numbers on what you.
Yeah, we just went by a proposed, but we haven't had like a real estate person go down and give us a number as to what they think it is. We're going based on what most properties sell for that are gonna be sold for development, and it's usually around $80,000 a unit,
But
basically.
is there a reason why we can't get an appraisal?
No, there's not a reason. I don't know if Tony's done more on that or not. I don't know.
So should we just reach out to him directly, or?
Oh, I think we should definitely find out, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
It's
said
not
it's-
that we're not doing it, it's just,
Yeah.
I
Just
don't know if
hasn't
it's
been
been
done
done
yet.
yet.
Okay, I can
Has
follow
been
up with
done,
him.
right. Jill, do you think you or the chief could probably get in touch with Tony, please, and ask him about doing appraisals for the two pieces of property?
Yep.
And then the housing that was gonna be on the Waldemar side of the, isn't there,
No, there's no housing.
there isn't, all
No.
right, maybe I was looking at an old,
Just green
You might have been looking at something
I might have
older.
been looking at an old one, okay.
Waldemar, where it goes into Wheelock,
Oh, sorry, no, that's the green space, I think I might have been looking at an old
Okay.
rendering.
and that's, remember, that's what we talked about, Shannon, that's where that generator is?
Yeah, for some reason I was
Which
thinking
we
that
think
that
is gonna be
space was
moved.
gonna
Where it's
have,
gonna be
yeah.
moved, right, the architect said that there would be no problem. Who brought that up? I think Lisa brought it up, about, the noise affecting the homes right there on Waldemar, and even probably, even going down Wheelock.
And there's a pretty substantial buffer there. It looks like, it's near the corner of Waldemar and Pauline, but there's a pretty substantial, like right now, the door to the middle school from Waldemar there is only maybe 10 feet off
Yep.
the sidewalk. This is closer to 40 feet off.
Oh, wow.
So there's a green spot and there's 3 or 4 trees being planted there, so it's more substantial than you might think. And it's not the same footprint as the middle school's on now.
And not to go on too much of a tangent, but just back to the appraisal for a second. This might be more of a zoning question, but in addition to the sale of the land, if we did sell it, and is it at the discretion of the developer to do condos versus apartments? Or is that something that the
You
town
could
has
put an
control
RFP
over?
out for whatever you want. You could put an RFP out for
I'm just
condos. You
thinking
could
that
put an
if-
RFP out. I mean, obviously condos are better for the
Well,
town because it's
That's
more
what I'm kinda thinking,
substantial
cause I think
real
it's,
estate.
part of the appraisal is just getting like the selling points to the community to say there could be some offset here. Maybe not directly to the debt exclusion per se, but in some way an offset to the town. But in addition to just the sale of the land, but also any ongoing growth related to that. But obviously those numbers are different if it's depending on condos versus apartments. And I just don't know whether the town has any control over that. Or is that a zoning issue, or do you
No, I
just
think
said?
the town does have
They do,
a
okay.
control on an RFP. Just for instance, on an RFP, if we were to decide to sell the Pauline Street station, we could say that it has to stay in its original form, or, the the frontage has to maintain that same character and same look or whatever. So you can ask for whatever you want.
I think it would just be, in addition to the appraisal, I think it'd be interesting to get a general understanding of, the appraisal is based on how many units, I know you quoted per unit, maybe, whatever, what also additional, based on the estimated assessment of the condos, and again, I realize we're going a little bit down a rabbit hole, but just to give the community a sense of what that could mean, not just on the point in time sale, but in the perpetuity of that, in terms of revenue growth, I think would be helpful, especially that relative to
It's
an
definitely
apartment.
substantial difference, condos versus apartments.
Yeah.
But it's a developer, and there's more risk for a developer and such, but, I
Right.
mean, if you just look at, the apartments down on Somerset, right? There's 29, let's say 30 apartments, and I think the real estate taxes from that development is roughly $50,000. And if they were 30 condos with an average value of $500,000, you're talking about $350,000
Right.
versus 50, so it's a substantial difference.
Nice thing is, there is some things around town you can get comps on nowadays. Taking Kirby's Funeral Home
Right.
down, buildings that might be deemed useless to a developer, you can actually have comps on the land, and square footage, and building units.
So that comes out of the town manager's office or through the council?
What?
What the RFP is actually gonna say?
The council would have input on that.
I haven't heard of anybody asking for any coffee hours. Has anybody?
I believe Councilor Swope has set March,
I don't remember the
11.
exact date.
there is one coffee hour set for Seal Harbor, I believe, for schools and firehouse. I'll get you the date in a second.
At Seal Harbor, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I know we had asked,
I think it's the 13th of March,
13th.
a Thursday, at 6.
yeah, we had asked about going to the senior center and O'Connell Hall. We had asked about that.
March 13th, 6, yeah.
Seal Harbor, Pond Street.
Right now, the only thing that's scheduled is the 13th at Seal Harbor with Councilor Swope.
Okay,
6 PM.
okay. So I know that,
Is that on any Facebook pages or anything like that?
We don't have
Do
a
you know?
Facebook page set up yet. We're waiting for the final information from the website to be developed before we can set one up. But that
Could
will
you
go
guys
out.
put it on yours? Is there like a flyer or something that we can get to Kevin so that they could get it on the fire department? So they can share it about the coffee hour?
We could do that.
I don't know who's keeping track of the coffee. Are you keeping track of the coffee house, Jill?
I have it now, I will, yeah. That's the only one that I know of that's, the only confirmed one is the 13th.
Because I know on the town manager's weekly newsletter, it still says contact Chief Wiley if you want to have a coffee hour.
Yes,
It
no,
still
that is
says it
contacted
there.
them.
Okay,
Just Councilor Swope.
okay. All right, maybe we can get it out on somebody else's Facebook page to contact Chief Wiley if you want to have a coffee hour.
Well, I'm thinking, I mean, because you said that you get a lot of hits on your site.
We get between 2,000 and 7,000 for every post, so.
Right, so if we could feed Kevin or whoever the administrator is on that account, and then people can just share that anywhere. They could share it on Nice Discussion
Okay.
or, you know,
All right.
doesn't have to reinvent the wheel and actually
Well,
create.
Chief
something
Wiley
new.
said he was gonna look into Pond Street. Now, whether he's had a chance to or not, I don't know. But he said he was gonna look at Pond Street. And we need to contact, Matt Rhodes down at the senior center.
I'll call him tomorrow.
And also, O'Connell Hall. What's her name? Peg Lyons. Just to see.
About hosting them at the senior center?
Yeah, because, you know, the seniors are down there And they are,
O'Connell Hall would be, Golden Drive.
right, Golden Drive.
Lions?
Mm-hmm.
And I did ask, Steve, I did ask Larissa to keep posting the open house for the fire station. And I did add the request about, for safety reasons, no children, please. I did put that, ask her to put that in too.
Thank you.
All right? So I hope it, I mean, we want the public to understand, it's not that you don't want the kids there. It's for safety reasons. We don't want the kids in the fire stations.
Absolutely.
Anybody else have anything to say? Anything else going on?
So just to go back with the coffee hours, do you want me to contact Peg Lions about so my ask her
I think
to-
Steve said he was going to.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Matt Rhodes tomorrow for the senior center, and I'll call Peg Lions
Okay.
for
Yep. you
Golden
want it?
Drive.
You can.
It's up to you.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Mention that way.
That's fine. Yep.
So we could tell you what the ballot is going to say. I mean, there could be a tweak, but we have approval from the state on this. And it would be headed, building a new fire station located at 151 Pauline Street. Question, shall the town of Winthrop be allowed to exempt from the provisions of Proposition 2.5, so-called, the amounts required to pay for the bonds issued in order to pay costs of the demolition of the old middle school and auditorium, and for designing, engineering, constructing, equipping, and furnishing a new fire station, including the payment of cost incidental and relative thereto. Town council has voted to appropriate funds to the, so that's the question, and then there's explanation. The town council has voted to appropriate funds to demolish the old middle school and auditorium and build a new fire station in the town. The new fire station will replace the two existing stations that will be deactivated upon completion of construction. The appropriated funds would authorize vendors to demolish the existing old middle school and auditorium and design, engineer, build, and furnish the new fire station. The funds would be borrowed by the treasurer and approved by the town manager. The cost of the debt service, like a mortgage, would be added to your taxes only until the debt service is paid off. Again, just like a mortgage, when the debt service is paid off, there will be no fire station debt service payments added to your taxes. The entire debt service payments are anticipated to begin in fiscal year 2028. And then a yes vote would authorize the town to fund all the costs to build the fire station, anticipated not to exceed $38.5 million, by issuing bonds to pay for the cost of the project and to temporarily exclude that amount of debt from the provisions of Proposition 2.5. This is the definition of a debt exclusion. In other words, a debt exclusion is a means of funding a particular project with a temporary increase, which we anticipate 25 years in the levy limit. The debt service is excluded from the levy limit of Proposition 2.5. A no vote would not authorize the town to exclude the debt service from the levy and would be held to the limitations required by Proposition 2.5. The town would not be able to build the fire station or need to bring forward a new or same ballot question seeking. So that is what will be on a ballot. In the ballot, we will get a copy of the ballot and put it on the website as well. And
So-
again, people could still ask for absentee ballots, still time to register to vote if you haven't, and we encourage you to do so for the fire station as well as the schools.
The last day to register to vote, again, is March 26th. You will not be receiving any postcards in the mail for early voting or absentee voting. But if you go on the town website to the town clerk's webpage, there is an application on there that you can fill out for an absentee or a mail-in. Those have to be returned to the town clerk's office in order for you to receive anything in the mail for voting. So I believe also if you go up to the town clerk's office with your application, you can turn it in there. But there is no early voting in Town Hall for this election, absolutely no early voting. So it's either by mail or in person on Election Day, which is April 5th. Again, we'll be at the middle school gymnasium from 7 in the morning till 8 at night, and at O'Connell Hall, the same hours. If you call the town clerk's office with any questions, I'm sure they'll be glad to answer them for you, as far as voting is concerned. Anything else? Kim? Jack?
Is there a picture of the firehouse on the sign?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see that. Great.
Have you seen the sign?
No, that's fine.
Okay. I believe,
People want to sit there.
no, there is a picture. Is this it? I got the right one?
This is, the picture, it's a head-on shot. Right now, there's a 4x8 sign, at the middle school attached to the stairs. Once the ground thaws up a little bit, which hopefully is this week, there will be 2 4x8 signs put, kind of like this, so people coming down Pauline will be able to see them, people coming up Pauline, either way, would be able to see them. Right now, there's just one sign affixed to the stairs, I believe. So head-on, you could see that picture, and it's a head-on, it's a frontal view of what the proposed fire station would look like. And again, could be tweaked one way or the other.
Is that, you can have mine, Joe. Joe said no. Jim? Anything else?
Nope.
Paul?
Good.
Shannon? Jill? Hannah, you haven't said a word.
I'm being quiet tonight.
Okay. Somebody else mentioned PSA Hall. Did we talk about that? Or not? At the,
We'd be willing to do one anyway.
all right, that's true.
Oh, coffee hour?
Yeah, if anybody
Anybody.
wants to set up a coffee hour anywhere, yes, we will be willing to go anyplace.
And they do not have to be extravagant, you could have 6 of your neighbors over, and it's just to get information out, to make sure the, educating the public and answering any questions we potentially can. Doesn't have to be 20 people in a hall, it could be 6 people around your kitchen table, it doesn't matter.
Could we make up informational packets like these sheets that we have? So if you're having a coffee hour, you could pick up 25 copies, so we're handing out the exact same
Talking points?
at every, provide your own cookies, but we provide the paperwork,
Yes,
Provide your own cookies?
yes, or whatever.
All right,
I do have something real quick.
okay.
I think I asked this last year. We're not allowed to stand up at the bridge or anything with any signage, right? The committee, or
well,
are we?
I think we are. We
you
did.
can stand up yourself, I
Okay.
mean, we wouldn't organize to
No,
stand
okay,
out.
all right. What about just being out front of like the marketplace or the bank or the rink, just to engage with people outside of the post office? Is that legit?
Yeah, well, we did it at the last one we had at the farmer's stand, right?
Okay.
We had
Yes, we did.
standing
Yes, you
there.
and I
It's
did,
just an
yes.
informational
Okay.
purpose, you're not having like a
Okay.
vote yes pin
No,
on you
no,
when
no,
you're
no.
doing it, you're just trying to give information out, people have questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to set up another meeting. Well, the dates that I have that this room is open, I have Wednesday, March 5, and then you have it booked for the 10th?
I believe I do, which you can absolutely use if you'd like.
So that would be 2 weeks from tonight, March 10th.
And that would be
Or a
fine.
week from Wednesday would be March 5th.
I think it's actually on the website now is March 10th, Firehouse Building Committee.
Oh, I saw your name when I looked it
Yeah.
up, but did they change it?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you wanna plan then 2 weeks from tonight?
For March 10th?
March 10th, Monday, March 10th
5:30.
at 5:30? Is the planning board in here late?
I think there's an affordable housing
Affordable
committee
housing at
meeting,
7.
but yeah, not
At
until
7.
7.
Yeah. And that's it. On there.
It's 5, yeah, but it's 5,
5:30 to 7 is open.
okay. So then we'll
It's-
plan
it's- we
on,
have a meeting. It's on the,
okay, then we're planning on Monday, March 10 at 5:30 in this room. Hopefully, we'll have more, maybe brochures or something at that time. Any other old business? Either one of the firefighters have anything to say? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Kim,
Second.
second by Jim. Motion to adjourn at 6:10. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.